Downtown Rockhound, and I will tell you something. This is going to be an absolutely awesome next couple of hours. Do you have any sort of beautiful gem crystal treasures in your home environment? You know, since ancient times, many of these pieces have been considered sources of energy, power sources. I mean, if you follow along with, you know, the information that comes out every once in a while about the Great Pyramid, and they're talking about the limestone and the dolomite, and now they've been covered all the big chambers underneath, and there are some folks who are saying, oh, that's not a burial vessel, that's a big generator, because the combination of the dolomite and the crystals, and it makes energy. Okay, and then you wander off into the whole Nikola Tesla. I don't know if you do, but I do, because it's so interesting to think about it. You know, what's the little magical tidbit that makes your quartz watch go tick, tick, tick? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, literally marking the passage of this weird construct that we call time. You know what it is? It's a quartz crystal. And that little crystal is the thing that delivers energy. And so we're gonna talk today about what we call gem crystal treasures here at Shop LC. And it's really cool because all around they're just gorgeous. Now, I just told DJ, Total Geek, picked up a really beautiful window druzy at Gem Fest this weekend. Yes, I did. And we actually have what is a subscription service? Do you know what it's called?
That I don't know.
And you, at predetermined intervals, you'll get a box that has, you know, a collection of different stones and nuggets inside of it. I'll think of it in just a second. But anyway, this is kind of a throwback presentation, because mostly in today's world we think of minerals as just the pretty ones, you know, just the ones that make that transition from mineral to gemstone. They're durable, they're beautiful, they can withstand being mined, being separated from their host rock. They can survive the faceting process. They're scooped up by folks who just want to wear them and adorn themselves with them. And have you ever stopped to think about how unusual that is? I mean, when you look at the things that you wear as jewelry and the things that we think of as gemstones, have you ever stopped for just a second to think how it is you connect with that stone? Because first and foremost, first and last, whether it's a diamond or a ruby or whatever it is, maybe it's just a beautiful piece of malachite or an incredible, you know, shell, whatever it is, first, your first interest, that first little flicker, that first little love at first sight experience is actually the color of that thing. And even if it's a diamond, there are subtle variations in the color of diamond, and first and foremost you are attracted to the color of a diamond. Then you look at how does it sparkle, and from that point it's kind of like picking out a puppy, DJ. You can say, you know, you adopt your pet, your puppy, your kitten, whatever, but there's a certain resonance with the message that says that little creature actually enfolds and adopts you. And honestly, I think it's the same way with many of these beautiful pieces. So get ready, my friends, buckle up, because we have picked a wonderful and interesting and varied collection for you today in our gem crystal treasures, and absolutely fun. I'll do my best to tell you a little bit about each one of these pieces as we go through the collection, but don't let my long-winded story slow you down. The instant, the absolute instant that you see that, put your brain on pause for just a second, okay? But the instant that you see the thing before you on your screen, I want you to just say, yes, I'm going to get it. And here's why. We're going to give you a live stream extra discount savings on top of our fantastic prices here at Shop LC. And then after that, if it's over $50, we're going to ship it to you for free. Now, when you talk about free shipping and you're talking about, you know, 6 pairs of earrings or 2 rings or whatever the item is, that's great. But when you're talking about free shipping on something like this, incredible. Okay. This is not something that should ship to you for free. This would be an absolute fortune to ship. And today there are 19 of these in our inventory. And you have an absolutely amazing opportunity to pick this up. Now, this one is, let's see, DJ, do I have a little, can you see this okay if I sit it down here, or is that covered up by the info bar? I'm wondering if I had a little, if I had a little something I could sit these on. Maybe not, that's okay.
Yeah.
Not really?
Not really, no.
Okay, all right. I'll think about bringing a little box from home maybe next time. This is a very unusual show.
No, it looks okay.
Does it look okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Let me see. I'll just hold it like this. It's okay. I'll just hold it like this because I'm going to tell you all about it. Now, what's really interesting about this is a shungite product. And shungite is something that the material comes from one place. It shares something with diamond in that it's a very high percentage of carbon. In some cases, it's going to be over 90% carbon. So it also shares that property, believe it or not, with the thing and the stuff that you or maybe your toddlers write with in the center of a pencil, because graphite and diamond and shungite are all very, very, very carbon rich. All right. Now, here's the thing. When we're talking about carbon, if it's arranged in a certain way, it's going to produce a diamond. If it's arranged in another way, it's going to be graphite. If it's arranged in a different way, it's going to produce shungite. Now, shungite comes from one place. It comes from an area in Russia called Shunga. It's near the village of Karelia, and you don't have to be an absolute news junkie to know that there are a lot of things happening in this soul world. And consequently, when it comes to crystals and gemstones and things like that, if the location where that item is mined is going through some stuff at that time, we call it politely geopolitical upheaval. If it's going through any of those things, very often the production, the mining production will be the first thing to be interrupted. So it's been very challenging for us to get this. In fact, if you watch Queen Bee, Cheryl Bee, we originally found her at a shungite booth in Tucson, and she will tell you firsthand. You're looking at the source, okay? You're looking at a lady who knows her stuff, who is also deeply and wonderfully connected across the globe for different sources, and she'll look you in the eyeball and tell you the truth. It's tough for us to get shungite in today's world. Now, this one is a combination, so I'm going to turn this over and show you two different things. On the bottom, and shungite, when you get it home, I want you to look at the bottom, because you will see that this is not a solid black thing. This is not intended, nor does it ever look like just a piece of black plastic resin. There are textural inconsistencies. There are color inconsistencies. Mother Nature actually runs a tiny little bit sometimes of almost kind of a quartz through this material. So you'll see a little bit of almost an ash color or a chalky white veining, and that's the real deal. Now, as a material, okay, and let me just turn this around. Take a look at how intricate that carving is. My friends, when you're talking about shungite, it is a very challenging material to actually carve because it is a little bit of a softer material. This takes shungite powder and it mixes it with a resin material, a resin base, and they swirl those two things together so that you get the shungite infused in the resin. Then you get the block of infused, resin-infused shungite, and from there you have artisans who produce this, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is actually going to stand about 8 or 9 inches tall. The seated pose is absolutely gorgeous. The calmness of the face, the intricacy of the headdress, the richness of the robes. I mean, it looks like you could almost touch the embroidery in the beautiful robes. I look at this and I think, gosh, is that going to feel like silk when I touch it? You know, is that going to feel like silk? The thing about shungite, too, is that the carbon atoms are arranged differently. And here's where it gets really interesting. They're arranged in a little shape that looks kind of like a soccer ball. And folks out there in the sciencey world, where I don't happen to live and I don't understand a lot of it, because it's a whole other level of magic to me. But those carbon atoms are arranged in such a way that they look like a little soccer ball. And that particular arrangement of carbon atoms was, I believe, first discovered in shungite. It was only theoretical. You can go back and look at very interesting folks like Buckminster Fuller who talked about that particular arrangement. All right, let's get you down to pricing on this because we have 19 of these to go. Can you imagine this in your garden? Can you imagine this sitting next to your water feature? Can you imagine this just as a beautiful conversational piece in your the serene area where you go back to yourself, you do your studying, your meditation, the place where you separate yourself from the noise and the aggravation and all of the stuff that seems important, but you know darn well it's not, that spot where you go to recharge. This, in that spot, would be awesome. You simply you have one of those beautiful little kitchen windows that's growing your herbs, your herb garden there, put it there. You have a beautiful old rusted iron baker's rack on your back porch and it's filled with a maidenhair fern and maybe it's got a little parsley or some beautiful greenery there. You tuck this inside of a planter where your bird of paradise is about to break forth with a brand new blossom. These are amazing, my friends. Now, when you see this, when you see everyday price on this is $139. Just come on down to Austin, okay? You and me hop in the truck. We'll stop somewhere and get a cold glass of tea, and we'll drive to a couple of rock shops. There are a couple here. There are 3 or 4 within a very beautiful scenic drive within a 30, 45, hour and a half, 90 minutes of where we are now. And I can take you to a couple of places where this would be hundreds of dollars because it's a combination of things that give you the value that's unspeakable in this. First of all, it's massive. Second of all, it's shungite. And then, of course, you have to look at the intricacy and the beautiful precision of the carving. Every aspect of this is like a beautiful jewel. This is a jewel of serenity and calmness. These pieces are jewelry for your home, for your personal environment, okay? Now, shungite has been studied. There are lots of studies outside the U.S. that talk about therapeutic benefits of this material. There are lots of benefits proposed benefits that talk about that. And there's a wonderful book that we have online at ShopLC, and it's written by Regina Martino. She's a French lady, and she cites all of those scientific white papers, and she also explains it. But she incorporates the metaphysical aspect of shungite as well, and information about how to place it in your environment. This is considered by metaphysicians an incredibly powerful stone, separate from the artistry, from the image, from the intensity and richness of the carving. There are so many beautiful aspects of this. Now, it says $4.99 as our start price, and I have to agree with that because rock shops are very popular now. They're popping up all over the place. And again, when you talk about a shungite specimen that's this large and it's mounted on a pure shungite base, and then you've got all that carving. Oh my gosh. Okay. Everyday price on this is $139. We have sold dozens and dozens and dozens. When we originally introduced this series, there were several other massive carvings. We are now down to this singular treasure. And I have 19 of those available for the first come, first serve. However, the Shop LC price is not $5.99. The Shop LC price any day of the week is $139. All right, $139. When you and the item is pinned already in below, so it's already pinned. Emerald, thank you. Mohammed, thank you. Gem Cuts, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for getting in on these. If you already own shungite and you want to share your experience with this material in the chat below, please feel free to do that. Chat amongst yourselves. Our price on this today is $139, but when you put it in your cart and you type in Live 25, you're going to save 25%, and we're also going to give you budget pay on this. It means that your price goes down to $104. Oh my gosh, $104. And you have 5 budget pays, which will round out at about $21. And you've got a full 30-day money-back guarantee on these. These will not come back. They just won't. They're amazingly collectible. And I'm going to give you one more look before we move to item number 2. This is item number 1. DJ already has it pinned down below, but just absolutely gorgeous. And look at the DJ. I'm going to use my little light, but you tell me if that's distracting. Is that okay?
Let's see.
DJ's going to check.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to see just how incredibly intricate that carving is, okay? But beautiful. And I'll be using my little flashlight, DJs, until you tell me that it's not good, because this is a whole different kind of thing. I mean, as I said earlier, I really do believe that these are gems and jewelry for your home and for your environment. Look at the serenity of that face. Oh my gosh. Doesn't that just make you want to take a deep breath and put on some comfy clothes? Yes, it does. And it should. And if you do, good for you and congratulations. Absolutely exquisite. I love that. And again, this is a piece that you don't have to worry about because you have the resin shungite working together, and the metaphysical properties of that are going to be the same regardless. I think actually it's kind of a little bit better because you're getting such a beautiful rendition. Okay, that's going to be item number 1. Item number 2, are you ready for a little bit of power? This is a very sassy honey golden piece of citrine. The actual geode that this comes out of, we've gone ahead and added a little bit of extra stability to this, and we've given it a wonderful seated position so that you can both see the extra layers of the geode that actually happen, and then you can see how the beautiful iron oxide transmits through all of the quartzite to produce citrine. Now, citrine is gorgeous. This one actually weighs in at 3,100 carats. And I have to tell you something. Normally, you don't see a specimen quoted in carats, and I'll tell you why. Carat weight is something that is usually assigned to cut gemstones. Very rarely do you see these addressed as carat weight. But here's the thing: if you take carats, okay, and you divide it by 5, that gets you grams, okay? Okay, so 5 carats equals 1 gram. Okay, so carats divided by 5 equals grams. Then if you take grams and you take grams, whatever that number is, grams divided by 31, you'll get ounces, okay? And then if you take ounces divided by 16, then you'll get pounds. Okay, DJ, can you put that in the chat or no? Probably not. She's like, no. I ask so much and they're so good to me. Well, we'll see in a second. If we get a chance to do that, we will. And if you don't get that formula, you know what? Find me on Facebook, okay? Find me, Becky Booker, and or Becky Booker Shop Healthy Host, and I'll get you that math. The bottom line, this is going to be about 3 inches tall, and I love that these are all sort of forward facing. Now, when you're looking at quartz specimens of any color, this is quartz generic, whether it's white quartz or amethyst or whatever, when you're looking at any specimens, mineral specimens like this, there are 2 presentations. One presentation is that there are going to be polished surfaces. So if you see something and it has 6 smooth edges and it comes to a really sharp point at the top, like a sharpened pencil, those are probably man-polished faces. So those have been done by someone sitting sitting down and polishing. When you look at these, okay, and you look at these in light back and forth, what you're going to see is that these are not really super smooth. Now, you get lots of sparkle from these, but these are natural, unpolished crystal faces. So if you take a magnifying glass or you take your jeweler's loupe and you look at these are all the natural growth surfaces, the flow pattern of the beautiful slush that created these in the first place. So yeah, you get an entirely different experience when you're looking at these, and I think absolutely it's stunning. My preference personally is to have the unpolished crystal faces. There's just something about that to me is just so incredible. Okay, so I'm going to do the math on this just to figure out, just so you get an idea of weight-wise what it is from carats to ounces. So I'm going to go through this one more time, okay? So I'm going to go through it slow, so if you want to grab a pencil, follow along with me. And here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take, it says 3,175, 3,175. We're going to divide that by 5, okay? That's going to give us 635 grams. Now we're going to take grams and divide that by 31. That's going to give us 20 ounces. If we divide that by 16 ounces in a pound, that means that this weighs about 1¼ pounds. Okay, so now we're getting into the category of apples and oranges. Now we've translated carrots into how it makes sense so that you can understand the incredible heft. I mean, can you imagine wearing a 1-pound citrine in a cocktail ring? Now that would be a gorgeous piece of jewelry. Or wait. What if you had a pair of these and you wanted to get dangle earrings? DJ, what do you think? Is it me? Is it me? You just had the best smile. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. And by the way, on a crystal healing spectrum, okay, quartz, metaphysically, citrine is kind of the subwoofer of the category. Quartz is considered a powerhouse when it comes to metaphysical properties, okay? Hold on, let's see. I'm just gonna check my notes here, because this is something that is just such a powerhouse. And you know, if you've been watching Shop LC and you're buying some really great gemstones and jewelry from us, I mean, you may not realize that we have this entire collection behind the scenes. But I will tell you this, it's extremely limited. So when we get these in, there are usually not a lot of these. Not a lot of these at all. So, you know, when you have citrine, this is about, think about the energy from the sun. It's about power. It's about radiating confidence. It's about, in addition to the strength and the confidence that is said to come out of citrine, it's also something that is said to work in conjunction with anything else. For example, if you are, let's say you're using black tourmaline, and you're going to use it in the crystal form of the little brush, and you're just going to keep it for what we consider cloaking. You want something to kind of give you, you want a force field from the world. You just want to be quiet, and you just sort of want to be invisible for a while. Totally get it. That's part of my jam too. This is said to enhance whatever the energy of other stones are. That's why I sort of call it the metaphysical subwoofer, because it's got a little bit of extra oomph. It's like a super bass if you're talking about it in an auditory sense. If you're doing rose quartz for love or softness, if you're doing blue gemstones for your heart, or blue crystals for your throat chakra, green crystals for your heart chakra, this kind of goes in conjunction with any of those. As it is, it's a power gemstone. It's said to help you be powerful, feel powerful, emanate strength, but by itself, that's its characteristics. But it also works well, plays well with others. Now, we've already established that these are going to be in the range of about 1 pound or 1.5 pounds. So a really nice specimen for a desk. And in some cases, you'll see a little extra outcropping. You may see a little outcropping in yours of a little quartzite, a little cloudy white piece. You might see an outcropping of something that's a grayish stone that looks a little bit like Namibian chalcedony, because remember, quartz is a very complicated gemstone family, and she can show up in 1,000 different ways. She is the mysterious chameleon of the gemstone world. One of the pluses of being an abundant material. We have 55 of these. They're going to be over $50, so they are going to ship for free. The regular price on this is $179. What are the value factors of this? True, very highly resolved crystal faces. Quartz is in the hexagonal system, so you get lots of 6-sided or hexagon crystals. Then you get the natural surface, and then you get a depth of color in this that is absolutely intense. So $179 is our everyday price. Your price on this goes down to $135. $135, and your budget pay is $27. Okay? Okay? Yeah, $27 for that. Okay? Absolutely stunning. I love it. Okay. Item number 2. We're going to stay in the quartz, in number 3, this is going to be number 3, we're going to stay in the quartz family, and you do have a little bit of extra sculpted man-made edition. I really love these because you get a piece that's not wonky or wobbly, so we're giving you a wonderful presentation of the natural material, but we sort of built the base in together. So I think it's a really great way, because if you want to sit this up, you can see that this is designed to put the best presentation forward. Again, this is all natural color, so there's no coloring added to this. And you can see the sparkle again. These are all unpolished, untouched crystal faces. It literally looks like you have carved this chunk out of the side of a geode. And there's the layering that tells you about the formation of this material. You get it on both sides. I'm going to show you all the way around. This is completely wrapped around with that gorgeous seam on the edge. Take a look at this. It's like somebody cracked open a geode. They just took a hammer to a nodule of quartz and they cracked it open, and this is what was inside. I mean, how amazing is that, y'all? That's gorgeous. I love the gradation of coloring on the sides. You might see a little bit of green, like a little bit of an ocean quartz. You may see grays, but the thing about it is, however those colors show up, understand that these are not color enhanced. These are not injected. They're not quench crackled. There's no dye added to these. These are just as they should be, 1000% mystical, magical Mother Nature. All right, let's talk about this. Now, this one is said it weighs 771 carats. So let's do the math, okay? 7,771 carats. And understand, these come to us in a parcel. It's interesting because you think that the 4 C's, color, cut, clarity, and carat weight, are only about polished gems. But really and truly, just as a general bit of information, just as a genuine valuation factor, any of these beautiful natural things that occur in larger specimens are always more rare, and therefore they are more dollars. Now, they're not necessarily better or worse. Just like gemstones or diamonds or anything else, I'm going to tell you, you buy the piece that speaks to you, and you buy the piece that you like and that speaks to you. Listen, because your quartz is calling you. All right, 7,771 divided by 5 gives us 1,554 grams. Divided by 31 gives us 548 ounces. Divided by 16 gives us about 4.5 pounds. Okay, about 4 pounds. I mean, these are very, very rich and very, very dense. When you seriously use it as a doorstop, I mean, don't, but it's that heavy. Just seriously that heavy. Okay. All right, here we go. Your price normally is $6.99. Everyday low price at Shop LC is $229. When you type in Live 25, I've got 46 in this batch, and this is considered sort of a grape color. And look at this. You will have these interesting little outer growths of otherwise. I like it because it's kind of like when you look in your garden and you've got that periwinkle, that pink periwinkle, and just it's got that random little white petal that shows up. So these are completely uncolored. These are completely all natural crystal structure. And then you've got the stability base added to the back. Okay, your price today is $229 until you type in Live 25. This is item number 3. Item number 3. It's already pinned down below. There are only 46 of these. Your price goes down to $172, okay? And then you have 5 budget pays of about $35. Yeah, a little bit less. $35, my friends. That is amazing, amazing. Thanks for coming in. Abuzar, thank you. Emerald, the Jaipur, thank you. Mohammed, thank you. NK Gem Cuts, thank you as well for jumping in on these. These are just absolutely incredible treasures. And I was so overjoyed when we started adding these because it adds such another level of wonderful collectability. As I said, and I do say all the time, these are really gemstones and jewels for your home. They're really, really great. Really, really great. Okay, this one is cool, and we started doing these kind of as a customer request. These have a base, okay? You've got a beautiful black. I'm gonna say this is probably an iron base, but these are going to have a little more openness, okay? So these are going to have a little bit of a different shape, and generally speaking, they will not all be the same for sure, because each one of these is an incredible individual. But they are just like the other pieces I've shown you. They are covered. Every single sparkle, every single twinkle is an incredible all natural crystal surface, no polishing. If I showed you if I showed you a diamond, okay, that's going to be a faceted polished stone. These are not polished whatsoever. Get your magnifying glass, buy a loupe, and just get in there and look at those crystal surfaces. I mean, they are beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. Now you've got the base. You can unpack this and put it anywhere. The base is going to give it a little bit of uplift, so it will automatically become a prominent feature in any decor. But we've also got the closed back, okay? So I love that presentation as well. But this is what it's all about, my friends. It's all about that incredible, incredible presentation. Now, when we present these over on the other side of the building for on television, they fly out the door. They absolutely just fly out the door. These are incredibly in demand and collectible. Good news, bad news. We've got 20 of them. These are going to weigh in at about 19,000 carats. So give me a second. I'm going to do some math. 19, I'm going to do the exact number. It says 19,504 divided by 5 gives us 3,900 grams. We're going to divide that by 31 to get ounces. So that's going to be, oh gosh. Okay, hold on. I did that wrong. We're going to do this. You know what? Let me do this the easy way. Okay. Let's just let ChatGPT do this for us. Okay. Let me see if I can do that. I'm going to show you something here because the workmanship on this and the way that those crystal faces are so beautiful is just amazing. 19,504 divided by 5 to get grams. Okay, 3,900 grams divided by 31.1 to get ounces, divided by 16 to get pounds. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. I'm doing that wrong. Hold on. Let me do this. Convert 19,000 carats to pounds. How about that? Oh. All right, now adding the base to this, this is a prickly thing because adding the base to this is pretty ridiculous. So, okay, oh, this was right. It was just a number that I didn't believe it. So this weighs about 8.5 pounds, which I kept getting and not believing that it was so massive. Duh. Okay, about 8 to 9 pounds on every single one of these. Now, this is tricky because there is a hole literally drilled into the base, and this is cemented in there, so you never have to worry about it. Now, if you drop this, if you knock it down, of course, it's going to be a mess. You're going to say lots of bad words and maybe even cuss. But the base has lots and lots of stability, and we've got lots and lots of savings, my friends. This one is $5.39. Now, rock shop price on this, especially with that kind of resolution and all, we're getting smaller with the crystals. We're getting more exotic. We're getting more rare with the crystals. And not only do we have more of a sugary look to the crystals, they're smaller, they're more petite, but look at the resolution. So that entire surface is covered with crystals, okay? So now you're talking about a set of characteristics that you look at this and go, okay, that's very unusual. That's very uncommon. The size, the color, the cut, the clarity. Okay, so you're still sort of operating loosely on 4Cs because the value factors sort of remain the same. You translate them to the marketplace where you're shopping. I got to show you the top of this. Look at that. Oh my gosh. You know what? DJ, what if I just hung this? What if I inverted this and hung it upside down somewhere? Oh, yes. You can have a lot of fun with these, friends. Okay, Shop LC price, $539, as opposed to the Rock Shop price of right around $2,100. So we're going to start you off at $539. I'm going to give you 25% off on these, but you have to be willing to take it right now. It's a very time-sensitive offer, and it's a very limited number. There are 20 of these to go around. Do not hesitate. Don't wait on those. They are incredibly rich and gorgeous. Your price with the 25% goes down to $405. Budget Pay takes it down to $81. Wow, $81 is your budget pay on that. Oh my gosh. gosh, talk about a powerhouse. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. These are pieces that you might walk by in a hotel lobby. You might walk by something like that in a very rich, elegant, fancy place. You may walk by this in a museum, in a gallery, in an exquisite, in a place where the furnishings are world class, one of a kind, super exotic, extremely exquisite. That's exactly what you're looking at here. And everyone's different, okay? Every single one of those is different. I do get a little superstitious about that, and I do think that the one that you are supposed to have energetically is the one that automatically finds you, okay? I really do. In whole 1000% believe that. Your budget per pound, this is $81. That's item number 4. So my friends, thank you so much for coming along and joining me today for our Gem Crystal Treasures presentation. Now, coming up next, this one has a whole other level of sugary presentation. Look at that color, first of all. And when you look at this, if I move it just a tiny little bit, are you seeing the tiniest little bit of sugar druzy on that, okay? You have an incredible opportunity to pick up something that we very rarely see here at Shop LC. This beautiful sugar pink crystal is a cobalt calcite, about 4,000 carats. This is associated with heart healing, with emotional release. Metaphysically, it's one of the strongest stones for these, and it's considered to be a stone of unconditional compassion, okay? So the coloring that you see is its typical color. So it's usually this bright pink color. Sometimes it's called a raspberry color or a magenta color, but this one is a very, very strongly colored piece. Now, this is something that is definitely associated with the heart chakra, and adding that is just gorgeous. Now you're seeing the sugary surface here, but when you get this home and you look through this, the matrix of the piece itself, it just looks like granite over here, but when you look really, really closely, you're going to see that this is absolutely just charged through and through with kind of a grayish color. And then you look in your lighting at home, and you will notice that that beautiful sort of pink heart chakra color runs all the way through it. That emotional heart connection runs all the way through it. The druzy on this is sugary, and it's so gorgeous. And I'm not sure if you're seeing it, but I will tell. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh. DJ, am I showing it off? Tell me if I'm showing it off.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see the sparkles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, the amethyst crystals are big and chunky, but these literally, this looks like you've gone to that special bakery and you're getting that chocolate chip cookie that has the little crunch of sea salt on top of it. That's the size of these crystals, actually just a tiny bit smaller. Okay, very rare on this one, and I gotta tell you something. This is a huge chunk of this. It's really magnificent. Your price on this, oh my goodness, look at that. Your price on this one today, and when you start looking at things with magnification, you will automatically see that the shapes of the crystals themselves are different because the resolution that you have here are natural and polished crystal faces. So you literally get to see what we call the growth habit of this material. It's very, very powerful. Okay, we have 19 of these, extremely rare for this large piece. Our price, there are 2 reviews, both 5 stars, estimated retail $600, $700, $800, because this one is rare, my friends. Your price at Shop LC is all the way down to $199. When you type in Live 25, you save 25% for the next 48 hours, and that means your price goes down to $149, and it means that your 4 budget pays goes down to $37.50. $37.50, my friends. Yes, indeed. We're going to ship it to you for free because it's over $50. And keep in mind, these are not small pieces. I get really excited when I'm talking about the jewelry items that come to you free shipping. I get really excited about that because, you know, shipping has to be paid for by somebody. Anytime that we can help you out with extra savings and pay for the shipping, we're very happy to do that. But a piece like this is so heavy. These are heavy pieces. This is not just put a stamp on it, you know, pop it in the mail and it's going to get there in a couple days. These require special packaging, special shipping, gentle handling. They're massive pieces. And so free shipping in this case is an incredibly generous upgrade to the value of what you're adding to your collection today. So come on in and grab them while you can. There are only 19 of those remaining. All right, coming up next, we have the red hematoid heart. Oh yeah. This is one that my grandson Leo, he has a little electronic magnify. It's a little electronic microscope. I ordered it online and it'll magnify up to about 1,000 times. And this is exactly the kind of thing that he gets really, really excited about. If you're going to see a piece of quartz and it's got little aspects like this that you look at this at first glance and you think, well, it looks kind of like silky quartz, but then you look really close and you say, you know what, that's not exactly brown. That's kind of a rusty brown. It's kind of a reddish brown. And that's exactly what this is. You can also see that it just drizzles all the way through. It looks like it slices through in different compartments. It's got a different presentation front to back. Look at this pattern. Look at that, DJ. Isn't that spectacular? Isn't that cool? I love this. Okay, perfect. This is the kind of thing that you keep on a dressing table. This, you know, the love hearts like this is the kind of thing that I have. You don't even want to know where I keep rocks. I got rocks in my bag. I got rocks by my bedside. I got rocks on my dressing table. I have some in the cup holder of my truck. I keep them everywhere. But when you're looking at these are just beautiful. And they're pieces that you collect because two things. You love the shape of it. There's just something so connected about being able to hold that heart shape in your hand, especially if you're giving it to somebody that really is the apple of your eye and your heart of hearts. But then you start looking at this particular material for what it is. First of all, it's quartz. We've already talked a little bit about the property of quartz and the way that it has such an energetic presence. But when you talk about adding hematite, this is a whole other ball of wax. And when you look at the presentation of this, it looks like somebody sat down with watercolors and just flashed it. I mean, it looks like a piece of modern art. But then you take a look at this and you see, wow. I mean, and think about this. There could be hundreds of these. There could be thousands of these. And the whole point of this is completely different than the world of faceted gemstones. The reason that we're connected to these, the reason that we buy these, is because every single one of these is unique. I don't care how many of these you cut from how many places in how many spots on the globe. There will never, ever, ever be another hematite in quartz that is exactly like this. No other pattern, no other swirl, no other manifestation, no other presence. This one is particularly uniquely wonderful, and that for me is the biggest wow factor of any of these, because like your fingerprint, like the beat of your heart, the cadence of your words, the gait where you walk, your own fingerprint. This is incredibly, incredibly a one of a kind. When you're looking for a gift that says to someone, you are my heart of hearts, you are my treasure of treasures, you are so unique and wonderful and special, you are a gift, this is what you give. Now, everyday price on this is $39.99, okay? And this is going to be roughly about 2 inches or so, and it's going to be pretty symmetrical. You'll see that the cleft of the heart is a little bit wider, just as it would be, and it's rounded on both sides. So let me show you. There's a lot of symmetry to this, both from shoulder to shoulder. There's a lot of balance from shoulder to base, and there's a wonderful symmetry on the thickness from the front to the back. So it's not lumpy bumpy. There's an amazing beauty to just the simplicity and the balance of this piece, and that's what it's all about. At $39.99, Live 25 means that your price goes down to $29.99, okay, and that saves you 25% off. I would say get a couple of these, because then your cart puts you in the free shipping zone. And how many of you have kiddos that are going back to school. Oh my gosh. Or maybe you have kiddos that are headed off to college for the first time ever. But here's the thing I would say very humbly. Walk into the space where your child is going to spend time with that educator this year. Your child, your granddaughter, your grandchild, whatever it is. And give that educator something that says, I appreciate you in advance, not at the end of the year where they're all worn out, they're all spent. Thanks for a job well done, the pat on the back, walk in with the celebration of what they're already going to do, the anticipation of a job well done. I appreciate you in advance. Thank you. I mean, can you imagine that person sitting and having this little treasure on their desk when they're having a rough day? Because let me tell you something. Anybody who sits in a classroom with more than one kiddo on a daily basis for hours and hours and hours, they're going to have some challenges, probably on a daily basis. So, God bless them for what they do. So it's an amazing thing. But think about things like this. You could do a food coupon, or send some snacks to the classroom, or send extra hand sanitizer. You could do any of those things. You could do a nice candle, a great little card, whatever. But when you go in armed with the symbol of a love heart and the power of quartz, the steadiness of hematite, go running all through this hematite. And you know what? The other thing about hematite is iron. You know why it's important to have hematite in a heart shape? Do you know why, DJ? Because the red coloring in hematite comes from iron. The red color in the blood of humans comes from iron. So there's a connectedness, there's a fullness to the telling of the story. From this little piece, okay, and you can call me crazy all day long, but I'm going to tell you something. This is a gift that will be remembered forever. Okay, whether it's for a teacher, whether it's just for somebody that you just want to drop this on somebody's desk at work. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for keeping me on point. Thank you for the job well done. Thank you for what you're doing. It's just really, really a great little sentiment. I mean, these are the $29.99. And if you want more of those, if you're thinking you'd like to have a few of those on hand because of the symbolism of those, then reach out to our personal shopping team, okay? 888-835-2237. We don't ever have a lot of these because we do get these in small quantities and small batches, so it's very important that you grab the one that you see when it speaks to you. And if you just listen for a minute or two, they'll start talking. You'll hear them loud and clear. All right, that's going to be item number 6, I believe. Is that right? That's yes. Item number 6. It's pinned down below. Red quartz with red hematite, and that hematite can look a little bronzy. It can look a little reddish brown. It can look a little bricky red. It can take on a couple of little interesting attributes. But remember, every single one of these, 100% different. Every single one of those, 100% unique. Every single one of those is an incredible treasure. So thank you for getting in on those. All right, item number 7. This is a pink garnet. Let's see, is this the small one?
Yeah, it's a tiny one.
It's okay. 185 carats, which in the overall scheme of things is not really big. 185 is a big number, but when you're talking about carats, this is not a big piece. Look at that, perfect. Again, a perfect thing to add to a landscape, perfect thing to be just a singular talking point on a table. The shape of a pyramid, if you're talking energetically, this is a shape that you want to keep in a room or a working environment where you need to be energized. This is not a shape recommended for a bedside table because it's said that the shape of the pyramid gives off a certain level of energy. Now, I have a lot of lights in here, and I've got this light to my left, and I've turned this in such a way that it's bouncing off the surface. And when I look at this, and I want you to do this when you get home, okay? When you look at each one of those surfaces, I want you to realize that this is something that is impossible to have a glassy, smooth polish. You are going to see little nuances where it might actually look, this is quite a lovely polish, by the way, but because this is in matrix, that means that this is not all just garnet. This is garnet mixed into a host rock or a matrix. And because each one of those elements has its own hardness, you're going to see a slight little variation. The surface might look a little oily. It might look like there are a few extra ripples there, and that's exactly how it's supposed to look. Now, January babies, this is your birthstone. Garnet is one of the gemstones mentioned in the Bible as being present on the breastplate of Aaron. The color red is always going to be associated with blood, with heart, with fidelity, with loyalty. The strength of blood to blood, the binding of blood through family members and generations, and sometimes it can be a symbol of bloodshed and battle, an honor to those who pay the ultimate sacrifice in conflict. This will not have the typical garnet presentation. Remember, we're not talking about gemstones here. We're talking about incredible, beautiful, natural treasures that you learn to appreciate in a whole other way. So this is not a gem quality garnet. This is something else altogether unto itself. So it's going to have a small footprint. It's going to be about 1 inch square. The price on this, now we have 176. This is $19.99, and you, oh goodness gracious, you've got a budget pay on this, and it goes down to $15. You've got a budget pay of $7.50. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm in on this. I'm in on that. Now I'm going to try to show the garnet here, because it's in matrix, will show up. And it's kind of balanced, so I don't know if you can see this, but the garnet kind of shows up as sort of a pinkish, almost raspberry swirl. And I apologize, guys, it's a little camera, and I wear trifocal lenses, and I'm not sure if I'm getting it in there. But if you go back to the website, this is going to be item 7. So if you go look at some of the pictures from the marketing team, you'll see this. And it's going to have speckles, it's going to have spots, it's going to have swirls. And that's the beauty of it. The beauty of this is exactly that it does not look like the thing that we think of as garnet as a gemstone. It's not supposed to look like that. It's not supposed to look like that at all. Now we have 176. This is item number 7, and I just want to check one thing. I feel like I'm forgetting something, so I'm going to check my notes. Hang on. But again, the pyramid shape is done as sort of an energy intensifier metaphysically. Okay, so this is absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is considered a stone of grounding. That matrix is called schist, and so there is a beautiful connection here with earth energy, with being stable, being connected to what we would consider ancestral energy. So it's got lots and lots of beautiful connectivity here. It's associated with vitality, with grounding, but it's also associated with courage and passion and discipline. And it's sturdy. She'll survive the drop test, okay? But they're beautiful. And listen, just get yourself a little $2 flashlight and go to town, because you're going to see that these are just really, really cool things. I love that. Beautiful. Let me see if I can show it. There you go. A little bit of, you're going to see a little bit of that pinky color in there, and it's just really, really gorgeous. Okay, really beautiful. You really get a first-class tour of how these materials grow in nature, and it's for me at least. I can't speak for you, but for me at least, it changes how I feel and what I think about garnet in its gem quality presence. Once you see how most of this material occurs in nature, and once you develop an important appreciation for this and how these stones have been treasured throughout time, now you sort of realize, well, we really live in a really great world where we can enjoy garnet and gem quality, where they're faceted down to shapes that we can actually wear. They're beautiful. They're very lovely. And on Fridays we do a lot of pieces on the television side under $10. So you might see a piece like that, a slab that's polished and just put in a bezel and just hanging from a stainless steel chain. So I hope when you see those items that are fashioned in this variety, when you see this variety set as a beautiful oval in a piece of jewelry and a pendant, I hope you'll try it, because it's a game changer. It really is. Okay, item number 7 you've got 2 budget pays of $7.50. Now, that's not a try me. If that's not a try me, I don't know. We do have 1 5-star review on that, so you can check out what other people are saying about these beautiful gem crystal treasures. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. In my humble opinion, these are simply beautiful jewels for your home and your home environment. Okay, we've got something else coming up next. This is going to be quartzite, and when you take a look at this, it's kind of gonna blow your mind. Okay, it's kind of gonna blow your mind. Quartz, or quartzite, as it's called sometimes in opaque, the opaque. But you look at this, and I'm gonna check my notes. And the presence on this is also gorgeous. Okay, first of all, it's mostly white. So this is, remember, this is the cousin of amethyst and citrine and so many other members of the quartz family. This one, by the way, is item number, this is number 8, correct, DJ? Mm-hmm. Okay, number 8. All right, just gorgeous, okay? First of all, normally if I say quartz, you probably think, you know, clear or white. Or you may have been shopping recently at the hardware store and you think, okay, well, that's quartzite countertop. This is a whole other kind of ball of wax here, okay? This one is gorgeous. Now, this is gonna sit, I wear, just for the sake of reference, I have a ladies large or a men's small glove. So just so you understand how my hand is. And this fits in my hand. So this is about the size of maybe a racquetball, okay, racquetball ball. And it just feels amazing. When you put these around your home though, remember these are energetic stones and they are absolutely gorgeous. Now the blue is beautiful. It is absolutely connected with a throat chakra. The white is considered with purity. It's considered part of your crown chakra. The metaphysical aspects of the white stones are always considered with your purple or your white, but they're just beautiful. And there's every once in a while a little bit of a speckle. When you see this, it may actually remind you of something called K2 jasper, because K2 jasper will have little spots that show up. The K2 jasper is going to have a different background. This is more of a quartzite, and this is going to be about 1,700 carats, about 1,700 carats. So absolutely gorgeous, associated with calmness, with the ethereal quality of angels, and just something that's said to be great for emotional upheaval, said to help with being anxious or being, you know, something that helps you become calm because of that beautiful white and blue. And the blue speckles, anything blue is always going to be related to your throat chakra, speaking your truth, speaking clearly, speaking the truth to others or to yourself. So associated with true and direct communication. I'll say that. Okay. Good news, bad news. We have 187 of these, which is kind of good news because that's kind of a good quantity. But that tells me that these are very new in the collection, and once the rest of the world gets a hold of these, they're going to be gone. Maybe you collect blue angelite, maybe you collect blue calcite, maybe you collect blue dumortierite, maybe you do have K2 jasper. This is going to fit in the realm with any of those beautiful treasures. This one is right now $29.99. 3 reviews, average of 4.7 stars. You can actually save 25% on what is an outlandishly good price. You're at $29.99. Okay, $29.99, and you have 2 budget pays, which means when you add Live 25 and the budget pay option, your budget pay goes down to $11.25. They're beautiful. I mean, talk about having this in a beautiful little dish on that spot where you come into your home and you throw down your keys and you kick off your shoes and you drop your bag and you close the door and the day is gone. Helping you unwind, helping you calm down, helping you put all of the stress and anxiety of the day far, far away. Because now you're in your inner sanctum sanctorum and you are looking to calm down. You're looking for a few deep breaths. You're looking for balance. You're looking for relaxation. This is it. This is it. And a couple of these, you know, I have more than one friend who keeps a few of these. I have one that keeps a few that look like big candies. It's a big sort of a hurricane hurricane glass, and they're just stacked, and they're like Mother Nature's marbles. I've got another friend that keeps them in an open dish, and they're just all sort of there. And she'll just walk over from time to time and just hold one. You might see her walking around her house. You go over for a visit, and you have a glass of tea, and she's just hanging on to one, enjoying the moment for whatever that calmness it imparts to her at that time. And you know, when we look at these and we talk about the metaphysical properties and the energetic characteristics, I'm going to tell you something. I can tell you all day what the textbooks say, and you can buy books on crystals and all sorts of things, but until you actually get them home and you use these beautiful things in your own world, in your own realm, you really won't know what they're all about. But when you get these home and you understand, just sit and spend some time with them. And from time to time, you know, if you need to clean these, some people believe that these absorb the bad energy, so they really do help take on that. They clear that out. And so the other side of that is that you're transmuting all of that anxiety, all of that high level of stress and energy into this material. And the way that you get rid of it, some people soak them in salt water, some people set them on the sun for a day, some people will set them in the outside during the moon, during a particular phase of the moon. So I'm going to leave that up to you, but I know that once you start taking a little peek into, or you try a few methods, I know that I really do think that this is a subtle sort of energy shift. And I really do think that if you try it, you will really come to appreciate it. All right, that's item number 8, and it's 2 budget pays of $11.25. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit about a fossil. All right, this is an ammonite with an N. And this is important because, for the most part, these are very high resolution on these. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you can see that these have lots and lots of the original shapes, the original presentation, the original chambers. This little fossil is actually related to the modern day squid. And when you take a look at the powerful presentation of 2 matching pieces, oh my goodness, my goodness. These are very, very, very popular, not only because these are pretty much intact pieces, but because somebody with a very steady hand and lots of luck has been able to saw through these. Now, let me show you this. When you open this up, look at that. Those are bookends. This is not just 2 random pieces that are put together. These are separate halves, matching halves of one amazing complete piece. And here is what is so stinking amazing about ammonites, okay? First of all, the size. And then if you look at this, so not only is this a fossilized shell, but the little sea creature is gone. Long, long, long gone. These are like 500 billion years old. That's not an exaggeration. These are amazing pieces. But when you look at this, all of these little lines, those are considered chambers, okay? They're chambers. And this is the way that the creature would maneuver through ancient oceans, just like a submarine, more water, less water. So we're calling them chambers, but it's essentially a bilge mechanism. So you don't see the ancient sea creature. What you see instead are these beautiful sort of honey golden colors. This is a combination, typically speaking, of calcite and aragonite, these gorgeous crystals. And these are both really, really important because your body has both of those minerals. So you might see these, you might feel a connection to these because some of this material is part and parcel of your human body. And these are not colored. The other thing that you'll notice about these on the backside, every once in a while, some of these will have kind of an orangey kind of iridescence, kind of a little bit of a sheen. This is the cousin of ammonite. Ammonite is very particular. It only comes from one particular location, from the Canadian Rockies, from the Bear Paw Formation. These are a lot more abundant. We get a lot of these from Madagascar, but whether it's the Canadian Rockies or whether it's Madagascar, these creatures lived millions of years ago And since then, they have turned into these amazing fossils. But, oh my gosh, now in some cases, okay, hold on. Okay, watch. When you have a piece like this, where you've got the druzy aspect and you see the openness, watch what happens when I put the light behind it. Even with all the lights here, you can see the crystal structure. So these are so cool because you get the ancient shell body, but you also, in some cases, are going to get a little bit of fun because with a little bit, just a basic light, you can see, and these are the thick pieces. Look at that. You still see illumination passing through that. Guys, I got this for $1. Okay, this is $1 flash. This is a cheapy flashlight. It's so much fun. Okay, matching pairs. Every single piece is going to be different. Okay, and some of them will have a little bit of extra strength. Oh, okay, right there is a little bit of the orange flash. Can you see that, dear DJ? I'm not sure. You can see it? Mm-hmm. Oh, yay! I'm not about to apologize for being so great, for being so geeky. I'm just not. This is like being a little girl, and this just seriously takes you back to put yourself in that ancient world. Okay, were there dinosaurs? What did the other sea creatures look like? What did they eat? How warm was the water? What did the earth look like back in those amazing long gone times? Just gorgeous. And you'll see from time to time, if this were if this were quartz, look at that. There's actually a little peekaboo, so the light actually shines through, so you get actually a little window druzy kind of effect on those. But these are really beautiful, and they may look a little sandy, dusty on the middle. You know why? Because that's how they grow. That's exactly what this material looks like. It's the real deal. The real deal. Okay. Wow, are you kidding me? Our price on this is only $109. Okay, I'm not mad at that. This is what we do, guys. Value leader, big deal. $109.99, not for each half, but you're getting the entire piece. You're getting the entire piece. How many of these can I send you? This is $109.99. It already has 4 budget pays of $27.50. When you type in Live 25, your price goes down to $82. That is that's almost $28 in savings, and your budget pay goes from $27 to $21. That is a wow factor. And there's only 4 budget pays. Now, I know it's July, so don't be mad at me, but what a great, you've got a young'un that loves dinosaurs, or a big'un that loves dinosaurs. They just have to have this. I mean, and this is not, a 3D printed. I've got 3D printed this, that, and whatever. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. And every single one of those little interior spots is basically a crystal. Those are all little teeny tiny sugar crystals, just like this is little teeny tiny sugar crystals. Come on in, my friends. This is a wow factor just waiting to happen, okay? All right, I'm gonna lay this over here. It's just, wow, okay. That's number 9. Number 10, we're going to give you an opportunity now to grab a larger shungite pyramid. Oh, did I say larger?
An understatement.
And you're going to see what's that. Thank you, DJ. That was completely unscripted. And my friend, you are on point and on time. That's exactly what I said. I was like, wow, we get to do that shungite pyramid. Now remember what I told you, this is not the piece for the sleeping space, okay? This is the space where you are going to supercharge, bring the energy, okay? I don't know when and where and how this was even presented, and I'm glad that Cheryl is not here because she's going to be so jealous. She's going to be so stinking jealous. Queen Bee, I don't even want to tell her we have this, DJ. I mean, she's going to be so mad. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is item number 10. Now, word to the wise. Abazar, thank you. Emerald, thank you. Muhammad, Jillo, thank you. 16. We have 3 of these, okay? And this is what the picture looks like, right? This is what the picture looks like. And see, this is all natural. So you're going to see that this has its own unique personality. Every single polished surface will be different because every single piece is unique. And I cannot stress that enough. And we live in a world where, you know, we present faceted gemstones, and you even want all the beads to be the same shape, and we're just overly symmetrical. Okay, every leaf on every tree, every hair and fuzzy part on every single root on every single tree is different. I love that we are giving you shapes that themselves are recognizable and symmetrical, but items that still celebrate individuality and uniqueness. Now, DJ, do we know actually how much this weighs? Does it say?
Let's see. I'm not seeing it.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to say this weighs at least 10 pounds.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going to say this weighs at least 10 pounds. I use 10-pound dumbbells, and I'm going to say this is going to be between 10 and 12 pounds, and that is probably conservative because of the shape. Now, 25 centimeters is going to be the measurement on the base. That's going to be right around 11 or 12 inches, okay? But this is absolutely breathtaking gorgeous, okay? The fact that we even have this is just blowing my mind. I'm seriously, blowing my mind. This is going to come directly to your doorstep, wonderfully packaged. There's a little bit of the packing there. And this is another one that when you get this home, you got to promise me, okay? Before you unbox this, start the video camera rolling, okay? Open your phone app, and just film the whole unboxing process, because wow on top of wow. Now give me a second. I'm gonna move my chair, and I'm gonna add another. I'm gonna step up on a little stepper here, because you got to see this, okay? You got to see this. Okay, look at this. Look at that. Oh, my word, absolutely gorgeous. The symmetry of each one of those pyramidal faces is gorgeous. This is so amazing. This is going to be your power center. This is going to be the piece that you put in your creative space. Are you a musician? Are you a writer? Are you an artist? Whatever your medium is, whether it's pottery or, listen, maybe you are an accountant. Maybe you're a CPA, okay? Whatever you do, there is always, there is always the need for clear-headedness, for thinking straight, for, adjusting your thought process. And that's what the pyramid shape does. Now, shungite in and of itself is one of the most powerful antioxidants that we know about. And remember, it's got those carbon atoms that are arranged like little soccer balls. That little soccer ball shape, is considered, it's called a fullerene, and it was a hypothetical. Scientists only guesstimated that carbon could even form in that shape until that shape was isolated in shungite. Now, here's the legend and the lore of shungite. 500 years ago, during the reign of the last czars in Russia, this is something that was said to have incredible healing properties. It was used as a purification mechanism for water. It was used as something that was said to induce calmness. It's been used for metaphysical purposes for such a long time. And then along comes science and catches up with the woo-woo part of it. So I think that's one of the amazing things about shungite. Now, we've got 3 of these, okay? I am right now just overwhelmed, DJ. I can barely speak. Our price on this every day is $1,069. Now, keep in mind, color cut, clarity, carat weight. When you're talking about singular large pieces, they step into the realm of rare and collectible just for their particular size and presentation. And keep in mind also, this one is not just one unmanipulated chunk. This one has been fashioned into one of the most energetic shapes we can ever use, the pyramid. Right now, the budget pay is at $214. When you type in live 25, and I do not have a weight on this, I'm simply guessing, I'm just saying conservatively 10 pounds. When you type in live 25, and this is going to blow me away, your price goes down by 25%. Your savings goes up by 25%. Okay, so instead of 1,069, you are now down to 802. So that's a savings right off the bat of about $270. And take a look at this. Your budget pay goes from 214 down to 160. So in one fell swoop, your budget pay just dropped by, can I just say $54? And that budget pay is important for this presentation because you've got 48 hours to use that online coupon. Talk about energetic, right? You've got 48 hours to take care of that. Now we've got 3 of these. If you want to talk about shipping, and it's my understanding that shipping is going to be free, I just can't help but touch it, guys. You can feel the polish on this. You can feel the natural surface. You can feel the swirls. I mean, you will automatically just want to touch it. You will automatically want to put hands, lay hands on this. You will want to connect with this material. It is that reach out and grab you, okay? And I'm a pretty common sense person, you know? That $50 savings that is in every single budget pay. That's not just, okay, well, we're going to save you some on one budget pay today, and then the other 4 budget pays go back to $214. No, your budget pay, every single one of those 5 budget pays gets knocked all the way down to $160. That budget pay savings on the entire process is locked in when you say yes right now. Now, there are 3 of these, okay? These are specimens that we only bring in. We probably only had 25 or 30 of these, and now we have 3. And I get it. It's massive. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I get that, but this is something that we have had so many requests for. Bring us something that's a little bit extra. A little bit extra. This is actually a whole lot extra at a whole lot of savings. And I'm going to encourage you, if you have questions about this one, instantly reach out to our personal shopper team, 888-835-2237. We have 3 of those. Your budget pay has gone from $214 down to $160. That is a $54 savings on every single budget pay. And seriously, this is absolutely, without a doubt, the #1 most impressive shungai piece I've ever seen us do. I went crazy about this one. We started out the show with this, and I went crazy about this because of the intricate carving on this. And this is the resin infused shungai, because you have to have that resin to give this material the carvability to get this kind of resolution. But this one, this is all shungai. This is 100% through and through and through. A miracle. It's a massive piece. And again, this is one of those pieces where you have to say to yourself, I'm just going to go for it. Put this in reflected light, seriously, so that you can see the nuance. And remember those little swirls. You might see a little quartz that flows through it. Occasionally you might see a fleck of gold. It's been known to have a little pyrite in presence as well. So absolutely beautiful. It's grounding. It's just, this is the king of kings in the worlds of metaphysical properties and materials right now. Wow, DJ, I am just, Cheryl's gonna be so,
Oh yeah.
she's gonna be so jelly. Seriously, she's gonna be so jelly. And Cheryl will be the first one to tell you that that's a steal, okay? Because remember, Shop LC, this is, we're such an anomaly in this marketplace, because you're seeing us right now bring you things that make no sense with regard to pricing, because you know, we've pretty much got a standard process. We go out there, we find the deal, we do the straight math, we pass it on to you. That's not what most people do. You're going to see a lot of companies, first of all, they're not directly connected to the source, so it's middleman after middleman after middleman, which in and of itself is challenging because you pay the markup every single time. So this kind of price point, I can guarantee you, if you went to Tucson or any of the gem shows, JCK, any of the big gem shows out there where you're talking to dealers from all points on the planet, this is probably less than some dealers are going to pay. Some resellers are going to pay more for this than you are right now. And they're going to mark it up a lot more than 5 payments of $160. So it's a specialized piece, but it's an unbelievable price. Okay, so if you can swing that and you're going to get that home, I mean, it's FRAA on your shipping and it's 5 payments and it is incredible. All right, we're going to keep the shungite love going. We had a few of these at Gem Fest, and honestly, I thought this was so cool. I mean, if you are looking for something, or if, and I've never seen us do the carved bowls before, and these are big pieces. A lot of times the carved bowls are just little tiny small pieces. So maybe you have an intention, you write something down, you put it there. Maybe you've got your card of the day, whatever you're doing, and you put it in, you know, your shungite bowl or your gemstone bowl. That's great. This is beautiful. I mean, this is the size of a little rice bowl. This is really a substantial piece. And the gram weight, the carat weight is about 1,700 carats. So that's going to be several ounces. I bet you that's going to be at least 2 ounces, maybe even more. And plus, look at the thickness of the carving. I love the contrast as well too, because you're getting the natural surface, which has this beautiful traditional shungite sheen on it, and on the inside you kind of get a sandy, not necessarily bright polish. And shungite itself is not a very, very hard material. So to get that level of shungite, to get that level of polish on this material is quite remarkable. This is a lovely piece. Can you imagine if you are, if you wanted to put, what I would use this for wishes and hopes and prayers. I would put a picture of my person in there. This would be my prayer bowl. I would put a picture of a person that I'm thinking about. You know, I have little inspirational cards that I pull. Maybe this is going to be your love bowl. You write a love note here. This is the pot. This is the spot where you and your special person exchange a little sentiment. So this is a great thing. Maybe this is just the place where your keys are going to live every day. I mean, listen, you do you. There's endless possibilities, but there are not endless bowls. We only have about 5 dozen, and the price on this is $89.99. Now, this has 12 reviews with an average of 4.5 stars. So if you want to check out the story on this one, then go and read the dozen verified reviews. Wonderful. And thank you all for writing reviews and coming back and giving your feedback on pieces, because it helps the buying team, but also it helps your fellow shoppers. So I love that we're doing this in community. Okay. You're about to save 25% on this. Live 25 means that your price at $89.99 is gone. For the next 48 hours, we're going to mark them down to $67.49, all right? And now I'm not currently seeing a budget pay. Sometimes there's one waiting and it's behind the scenes. So this is where you take $67.49 and call up a personal shopper and say, hey, talk to me about budget pay. Is that an option? Okay, I'm going to leave that to you and your personal shopper. That number is 888-835-2237. It would be very unusual for us not to have a budget pay, and sometimes in prepping for the show, they process hundreds of different items for shows throughout the day, so maybe it was just an oversight. 888-835-2237. $67.50. Okay, $67.50. Okay, call the personal shoppers. All right, 10, that was number 11. Number 12, now we're going to bring you a shungite ball. The thing that you notice about this immediately is that as compared to quartz, there's a little different density. So shungite has a little bit of a different density or specific gravity. So things that are kind of the same size, the quartz is always going to feel a little heftier for its weight because it has a different density. But again, natural shungite, the polish on this, the smoothness on this is wonderful. You will also see, let me put that there, don't drill off. You'll also see that natural surface. And again, when you put this in reflected light, you'll see little different things that go through there. I love that. And some people say, well, why do you use reflected light? How do you do that? Well, let me give you an example. If you're at the car wash and you're wiping down your windshield, you can have a smudge or something on that glass windshield, and you've got to figure out, gosh, is that on the inside or is that on the outside? And what you're doing is you're using reflected light. So you're moving around so that you can see the surface of that interior or exterior. So you're already using reflected light. You already have that skill. So bop this around with your head, or maybe you move this and you'll see natural little striations. There's a little bit of, it looks like a little bit of quartz floating through that. There's another little squiggle through there. But keep in mind, this is all natural. These are 100% little carbon miracles. They're just gorgeous. And yeah, they feel great. I've got some of these in various gem materials, and I actually will use them for a foot massage, believe it or not. This is absolutely great. You just put this on a towel and you just simply put your foot on it and just roll it back and forth, roll it back and forth. Okay, if you've ever had a hot stone massage, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't put any of these in the microwave. If you do want to heat these up, you get some hot water, you put them in a bowl of hot water, and that's how you add heat to these pieces. Do not microwave any of these, okay? And do not put them in your oven. Just simply hot water, let them warm up, and they're a great foot massage. I'm telling you, great. All right, let's talk savings. This one is item number 12. It's gonna be, let's see, $39, all right? Let me write that one on that. $39.99, 26 reviews, 4.7 stars. 4.7 stars. Jean, thank you. I'm glad you're in here. 4.7 stars. And if any of you have experience with these, if you own them, if you've already added them to your collection, drop the information in the chat below, because there may be other people shopping who want a little bit of feedback from our end users. But this is another piece when you need to be calm, when you just want to relax. This is the piece that you add. Okay. There are, if any of you remember Nikki that used to work here, one of her, she had tremendous anxiety when she was flying anywhere. I mean, bless her heart, she would just be so anxious. She would just be all balled up over flying. This was one of the stones that she would take with her, and she would keep shungite with her when she was flying, and she would swear by it. She's like, it helps me stay grounded. It helps me be calm. I'm gonna go with that. Okay. $39.99, 25% off means that your price goes down to $30. Okay, so it goes from 40 to 30, and it means that your two budget pays go all the way down to $15. Yes, $15. That's item number 12. All right, coming up next, we've got the Green Forest Sprite lamp. Now, this is actually not a gemstone. This is adorable. It's a little. Does that look like a unicorn to you, DJ?
It does.
Okay, I thought that was me. I thought that was me. Now, you're going to put a little battery in here, and we don't have a battery put in, but I love this because there's a little tiny LED in here, and I've seen these glowing, and they just look so pretty. This is going to remind you maybe of dendritic agate, okay, but dendritic quartz, but that green and white combination is just so fresh, and it's a very subtle piece, and at the same time, it's battery powered, so you can get this home. I liked, if you're going to use this in the kiddos room, you can put the little safety screw in there. Since I'm a big girl and I don't have to worry about my batteries, I don't put that in, and the battery compartment just clicks open with one little click. But you've got on, off, and I think you have, I think you may have, oh, you've got on, off. Okay, let me, hold on. Okay, on and off. Just on and off, or is there an automatic on here? Is there a sundown setting? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, cute. So whether you're going to call that a little, that's a unicorn. Come on, that's a unicorn. This is adorable. All right, part of our Live More collection. This is going to be about 5 inches tall. That's going to be about 6.5 or 7 inches tall. Just a beautiful nightlight. Just that little something, not too much. Your price on this one, this is number 13, is $29.99. Fancy glass pieces are expensive in today's world. And even if you never put a battery in that, my sister loves unicorns, by the way. So I would love this. Now, oh, okay, behind the scenes, there's a bunny rabbit. Are you serious? What else do we have? Is that a penguin or a duck? There's a bunny rabbit? Okay, this little guy, which you're calling a sprite, I'm calling him a unicorn. What is it? Oh, it's a little dog. I see it. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, there's a little teddy bear. The teddy bear is the same except all of the coloring is white. There's a little bunny rabbit, so cute. These are perfect. What a great baby shower gift, y'all. This is perfect in that spot where you need to rock the baby. You need to put this on, you can turn it on and off for just a little bit of low light. That's great. All right, your price is $29.99, and those are heavy pieces. This is really well made. Listen, that is thick. That's a wonderful piece. All right, $29.99. We've got the other options behind the scenes. Right now, it's at $29.99. Your price goes down to $22.50, and you have 3 budget pays. Yeah. So from $29.99, from $30 to $22.50, and then you have 4 budget pays of $7.50. Yeah, that's a great deal. What a great unexpected thing, and the quality of that is really nice. Livemore, watch for that name, Livmore. That's a Shop LC brand. That's our Shop LC brand, and it's a wonderful way to add beautiful pieces to your home. So I love that. Okay, coming up next, we have a small amethyst geode. Leo, my 8-year-old grandson, has kind of fallen in love with these, and he's kind of fallen in love with bringing home rocks that have sort of a roundish shape, because he's kind of addicted to cracking open rocks, and fingers crossed, is it going to be a geode? I love it. Okay, again, you've got wonderful straight gradient formation on the side, so you see how over who knows how many times, how long it took for all of that to happen. How long does it take for a stalactite to grow? How long does it take for a stalagmite to grow? I don't know, but it's not instant, okay? It's a lot longer than making a bag of popcorn in a microwave. And that's a thing that just, I mean, I look at these pieces and I think about just the concept of time and how long it took these to grow. And you look at a piece like this, like look at this for example. So you see that there's basically layers, and then over here, oh, there's a little extra something there. So the layer, just the way the layers stack up is just breathtaking. So cool. Okay, this is a wonderful piece. And if you want a piece that are gonna be sort of the same size, very nice. This one we did at the earlier part of the show, but now you've got I call these the Royal Sisters, the beautiful golden citrine and the purple amethyst. Okay, my friends, this one is $69.99. This is item 14. And it's going to be these are going to be about 2 or 3 inches in height. So perfect for a desktop when you just need that little something, just something different. With your live 25 discount, it goes down to $52.49. You have 4 budget pays of $13, and this is still over $50, so it means free shipping. And keep in mind, these are not easy pieces to ship. These are heavy, weighty, substantial pieces. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. Oh, how are we doing on time? Okay, we got about 30 minutes left. No big deal. Okay. So, DJ, I'm in love with this, especially now that I know that there's a bunny. I'm gonna be adding a bunny to my nightstand. Okay, item number 15. Now, if you thought that the little Sprite Unicorn Bunny Bear collection was adorbs, okay, you just hang on. Just hold on, because look at this. Look at this little guy. Oh, he's got a little fuzzy bear tail. He's got his little bear feet. He's got a little bear paws. He's got a little teddy bear nose, little teddy bear ears, and just layers and layers and layers of sparkle and shimmer. I mean, this is like a snow globe suspended, and you've got your on-off switch. Okay, so I'll drop in the battery. You do have the safety screw if you wanted to leave that in, but if you take that out, the little thumb switch will work just fine. But gorgeous. Now, these are both going to be bears, but it looks like we have 2 different colors. One is going to be kind of golden, and I think the other one is going to be kind of more, a little bit more kind of blue pink. So one is kind of a champagne, and what is that other color? We'll see. Oh my gosh, adorable.
Multicolor.
Oh, okay. So this one is going to be kind of champagne, and you can see that this you overall have kind of a champagne, kind of a pinky bronze, kind of a glow. But the other one behind the scenes is going to be multicolor, and you'll see little flashes of blue. You'll see little flashes of pink. So it's overall it's a little bit more of a cool color combination. But I mean, this is sequins with glitter, with fun. There's a lot of really beautiful color and sparkle in this. And the thing about this too is that all of that is completely encased in the glass. So there's nothing that's going to flake off. There's nothing that's going to get in little hands, little eyes. This is beautiful. It's such a great deal. And at $19.99, are you kidding me? We've got about, I don't know what the breakdown is, but we've got about 150 of those. So I'm going to tell you to grab these while you can. A beautiful thing. You're never too old for whimsy. I mean, you're never too old. You're just never too old for cute. Okay, so you're never too old for cute. Just remember that. You need things that are whimsical, that are fun. There's a certain freedom to having a certain number of birthdays and embracing your inner child. Okay, and I'm not just saying for a friend. I'm just in that chapter, and it's fun to go back and say, you know what? I'm just not gonna be so dang serious. I'm gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna add a little something unexpected, and that's exactly what this is. I mean, that's just absolutely too cute. Can you imagine what it would be like to have a few of those? If you wanted to have just have these sitting around on your back patio. I mean, you just go around. If you're gonna do outdoor candles, I mean, why not do something fun? This is way better than I have little battery operated candles. This is a lot more fun. It's just a lot more fun, seriously. But what a great baby shower gift, right? What a great baby shower. And you're going to walk in, the thing too with going to an event where you take a gift like that is that there's so much repetition. There's a certain number of, well, okay, maybe I didn't look at the list and I'm going to bring a second bottle warmer. Maybe I didn't look at the list. Maybe I'm just going to get a diaper bag, and there's 4 of those already. When you bring a gift like this that's just so fun and so unique, you know it's going to be the hit of the party, and at the same time, it's just so treasured. It becomes a treasured family heirloom. If you're given a baby party, maybe this is the one that is going to become a prize for all of those fun baby shower games that we like to play. I don't know, what's your favorite baby shower game? I went to a baby shower last year, and one of the games was they wrapped, they said they had a roll of toilet paper, and they said, okay, guess how many squares it takes to wrap around Mama's belly. We had the best time. We had the best time guessing. And then there's the clothespin game where you put a clothespin on your collar, and you're not supposed to cross your legs. You're supposed to sit with your legs crossed at the ankles. And then the minute that you cross your legs, if you forget, somebody can run over and seal your pin. And then whoever has the most pins at the end of the game, at the end of the shower, they get a prize. Maybe this is a fun door prize. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Can you imagine too? I mean, your price on these goes down to $15. Can you imagine taking a few of those if you're that person who you specialize in reselling baby items, or maybe maybe you have a store and you're selling cute kids items. Maybe you've got that pop-up shop and you've got all the great little kids items. You've got great little t-shirts and fun little outfits and little 3D printed toys or this, that, or the other. And now you're going to add these to your lineup. Yeah. We're very reseller friendly here, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. And if you do need a supplier that brings that level of whimsy and variety to your customers and makes your store a great place to shop, absolutely talk to our personal shopping team. All right, 888-835-2237, and ask them about number 13, because we have a bear, a bunny. We're calling this a sprite, but I'm calling that a unicorn. And a bear, a bunny. What else is in this? I don't remember. Anyway, this is number 13. You have several options behind the scenes. This is number 15, and they're all going to be bears, but there's 2 different colors. One is kind of a champagne, and the other is a beautiful sort of rainbow multicolor. So check these out. I mean, I'm loving that big Shungite tower, but this wins the cuteness prize hands down. Without a doubt, without a doubt. Guys, I'm your downtown rock hound. I'm the gal that gets geeky and silly and whimsical because I have come to believe that sometimes in life you just got to be the boss of your own magic. You know, you got to sometimes say to the rest of the world, no, I'm gonna live like this. I'm gonna have some fun, and y'all can come on and go with me. So I'm happy to have you out there, and thank you so much. The live stream shows now happen 5 times a day, Monday through Friday. So we've got one at 8 a.m. for all of you early birds. We've got one at 10 a.m. for all of you brunchers, for the brunch bunch, Monday through Friday. Then we have one at 2, all right? Then we have one at 6 and one at 8. Did I get that right, DJ?
Yes.
2, 6, and 8. I got it right?
You did.
The first time? You're kidding me. He's probably thinking, the first time ever in like forever. Oh, goodness gracious. And on Saturdays and Sundays, we've got live streams going free too. There's one at 2. There's one at 10, one at 2, and one at 6. Thank you, DJ. You're my treasure. I love you. Thank you so much. Okay. Another citrine. This one is a little bit smaller.
So actually, we're not going to do that one because it's not in our system.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're gonna pass that over. All right. Well, that's okay.
And, oh, wait, no, I'm wrong.
Is it there?
We have it. Yeah.
Well, you know, things sell out.
That's true.
Things do sell out, and I'm pretty sure I saw something like that at Gem Fest, so I would not be surprised if that one was not available. Okay, so correct me now. Is that number 16? Keep me on track. Yes. Number 16? Okay, number 16. I love these specimens. And the thing about this, too, is you get to see actually the sides. You get to see the spot where this is part of the geo, the overall piece. And I like the way that, you know, we take a piece like this and do minimal finishing on it. So that you don't have to worry about finding a base, finding a presentation item, finding an easel. I love that we've sort of built in the presentation. These already sort of have great posture, if you will, and they're done in such a way that the piece really shows off. Because the truth is, these are all about the crystals. Now, we had one earlier, which was a little bit larger. This is a little bit more petite, but let me show you again the crystal faces. And are you ready for the flashlight wow factor? Look at this. There it is. All of that beautiful, gorgeous citrine. It's for grounding. It's for energizing. It's for amplifying all of the power that comes to us from quartz and those gorgeous natural crystals. They are just beautiful. And on the sides, you might find some little speckles. There might be some little dendrites. You might see a little bit of a dendritic presentation on the side, but you're always going to see the natural formation and layering. Millions, if not billions of years in the formation, and every single piece of that is just a miracle. I mean, and I say this with all due respect, if you've got a kiddo, or if somebody who's a kid or a kid at heart, okay, they will just be mesmerized by these. I just don't think there's any way you can not just be absolutely captivated by them. Every single one, just like the hematoid heart, every single piece. There are no two of these alike. Think about that. In a world where we celebrate sameness and repetition, I mean, how many pictures of homes have you looked at where it's just, gray and white and it looks a little bit like a doctor's office or something? Add some color. You know what? Mother Nature is not about black and white. Mother Nature is about color and nuance and community and rarity and individuality. And that's what you get a celebration of in every single piece, guys. Calling these gem crystal treasures is the perfect name because they are absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to carry that one more step, and I'm going to tell you what I 1,000% believe. This is jewelry for your space, your environment. This is something that you have a headache, you take an aspirin or whatever you take for your headache, and you expect relief in a couple of hours. But when you start curating your space, when you do just a little bit of research and you buy a book on crystal healing or the properties, the metaphysical aspects of gemstones, And when you just curate your space with the intended outcome, you plan your space from the intended outcome. This is where I am, but that's where I want to be. And you intentionally select and adorn your space, the space where your soul and your spirit lives and your body comes along for the ride. You might notice a subtle difference if you practice the art of feng shui, if you practice the art of color therapy. These are pieces that have resonant capabilities. You think about that boring chart of elements that you had to memorize way back in the day. Do you know there's a new interpretation of that now, where it takes into effect the frequency and the color attributes of every single one of those elements, and it turns that boring chart of elements on its head, and it creates this beautiful metaphysical swirl. It all of a sudden, the chart of elements becomes like sacred geometry with color. It's powerful, guys. Okay, this one is item 16. Quantity wise, 43. Probably that's what's left over from GemFest, because GemFest was jam-packed. Normal price on this is $119. These are more valuable because you've got complete resolution of crystals, so there's no front-facing surface here that doesn't have those natural crystal faces. These are not polished. These crystal faces are all done by Mother Nature. So you've got all forward-facing, unpolished, natural hexagonal crystal faces, and then you have deep golden honey amber color. Really powerful on this. This is top tier color, my friends, when you're talking citrine. Okay, your price any other day of the week is $119. During this little presentation, you can save 25%, and we'll ship it to you for free. Your price goes from $119 down to $89.99, and we're going to throw in 5 budget pays. So it goes to $90. I'm going to round up for just simple math. You've got 3 budget pays of $30, okay? 3 budget pays of $30. I mean, just come on in. How many do you want? I've said that for every single one of these. How many of these do you want? And these are pieces, really, whether you collect these for their just simple, raw, unadulterated, natural, miraculous beauty, or maybe you are tuned in and tapped in and turned on to the metaphysical properties. Maybe that's something that's really made a connection with you. Maybe you're really feeling that. It doesn't matter to me. I just want you to not miss out on it, okay? And you have to understand that just like any other gemstones that we do, we negotiate all of these treasures by the batch, okay? We bring you our absolute best price, our absolute biggest savings on every single aspect, every single time. But the catch is they're always limited in quantity. Now, the shungite spheres are one of our most popular ways to use these gorgeous pieces. We had the smaller piece earlier. I'm going to show you the difference, okay? The smaller shungite sphere was item number 12, okay? Item number 12, but I want you to see it by comparison, because this is at least twice the size, okay? Now, will it fit in the bowl? Yes, it will. So I want you to see round on round, okay? So that shape, calming, soothing, the completeness of the sphere, the forever, the always, the eternal impression of the sphere. If you want to give a gift of jewelry that has the message, the subtle message of forever and always, it's going to be a circle of life. That's exactly what this is doing, okay? So the bowl was available behind the scenes as well. Now the shungite bowl was item number 11. So if you want that, you cannot wait. You have to get those right now. This one weighs in, it says at 34 carats. This is probably going to be about 8 ounces, okay? I'm guessing. Don't hold me to that, because I'm doing the math in my head and it might be wrong. The crazy things happen up there. You already know that. Okay, $79.99. Good news, bad news on this scenario as well. The shungite pieces are always so popular. This one is 25% savings for you today. your price goes down to $59.99, and you can take this on budget pay. You've got a budget pay of $15, okay? And that's big. That's a wonderful piece. Again, if you want to use these for just the metaphysical properties, just the touch of these, that's wonderful, but you can also submerge this into a warm water bath or a hot water bath, let it sit for a little bit and warm up, and then just use it that way, and oh my gosh, so amazing. In hundreds of years ago in Russia, these were used for water purification. There were shungite baths where people would say that the healing properties of shungite transmutes through the water and also into the body, the corpus corposum. So really, really fantastic. This is item number 17. Only 57 of those to go around and 48 hours to take advantage of those four budget pays of $15. Amazing. Really amazing. Beating pants off the rock shops all over the place. I love it. Okay. Black agate coming up next. Black agate is, oh, look at this, wow. Okay, I'm going to show you a really cool thing here because we don't get to do this comparison side by side. This is item number 18, and I want you to look, can you see a difference in the polish of those, DJ?
Let's see. Oh yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, what do you see from your standpoint on this? Tell me.
The agate looks more, what's the word?
First word that comes, it looks what?
I mean, the first thing I thought was waxed up.
Shiny. Does it look shinier?
Yeah, shinier.
You know why? Because what you're seeing is the Mohs scale in true life. The Mohs scale is the test of how hard or resistant is the surface of something to scratching. Think about a chrome bumper, DJ, and then think about a stainless steel skillet versus an aluminum skillet. Aluminum is always dull, right? You just can't polish it. Why? Because it's a softer material, so it has a different hardness. And now you're seeing it, okay? These are both long-lasting pieces. This is not jewelry, so really the Mohs scale does not come into play here, but I want you to understand why they don't look the same. Now, here's the thing. This is the cousin to this. Black agate, or sometimes it's referred to as black onyx, is the cousin to any other member of the quartz family. And sometimes it's called black agate or black onyx, and they can be used interchangeably. This is cool to the touch. It will warm up very nicely. Again, if you wanted to use this for a singular hot stone massage, this would be great. Put it in some hot water, let it warm up, and then put your foot on this and roll it. Use this as a massage tool for any spot that hurts. Okay, this is wonderful. And it pairs quite nicely with shungite as well. So if you wanted to add that into the shungite bowl, that would be a wow factor. Okay, so really, really gorgeous. And you've seen just in a few specimens here today the massive things available to us in the family of quartz, and why it's one of my favorite gemstone families, bar none, hands down. All right, we only have a few of these. Big Slimy, thank you for joining us. Okay, this is gorgeous. Now this fits in my hand. The measurement on this, it says about 3,200 carats. Our price on this is $39.99. There are 5-star reviews on this. Estimated retail $159.99, but here's the big deal. Live 25 means your price goes from $39.99 to $29.99, and you actually want to get this while you can. Is that Cheryl?
It is.
Are you looking at this?
No.
Look at this shungite pyramid. I know that, don't be jealous, I didn't pick this, okay? I didn't even know we had this. I digress.
Oh, I have that in my house.
Oh my gosh.
I have the same one up on the
That's
shelf.
crazy.
Yeah,
all right, I'm going to do the rest of these. This is $39.99, $29.99 is stunning on that. Take the budget pay, take these while you can, and just get ready. This is something that is soothing. The black is used for cloaking. It's used for anonymity. It's used when you say enough. This is my limit. This is my perimeter. This is my line of demarcation. All that stuff stays over there, and I'm going to cocoon. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to re-energize. I'm going to relax y'all just go away and leave me alone for a minute. It's okay to say that.
Becky,
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, but
Okay.
thankfully the other items they can check them out like during the replay.
Absolutely do that. They'll all be added for you in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for coming along. Gem Crystal Treasures, beautiful jewelry for your home. I hope that you picked up pieces that absolutely speak to you, and stick around. Queen Bee is coming up in just a minute or two. Bye, y'all.